Sorry, my battery died. Hee hee. Anyways, this is my chamomile, and you pretty much just pick the flowers off and dry them. And so I have some that I've been picking here, and I just use my fingers. And I've got quite a few plants of that, a little bit on this side too. This is our cherry tomato plant. It's still pretty small. It's probably the smallest of all, but it's got some cherry tomatoes on it, so I'm happy. And you can see our gigantic pumpkin. Then it goes up over this trellis and that trellis. This is our beefsteak tomato, which is kind of getting swallowed by the pumpkin. Let's see if oh, I know I can't do that. And these are we just kind of let our radishes go to seed. They have really pretty little flowers on them. I'll go see if I can get a good close-up. I don't know if you can tell, they're purple. They're pretty, and then we have lots of marigolds that are really pretty. Oh, look! Can you see the praying mantis? I don't know, I can't get him in focus. Oh well, he's there. I have morning glories growing up, the shepherd's hooks. This one's a little bit smaller, starting. And there's the hummingbird feeder, number 1. And then the bird bath. And this is, I think this is another beefsteak tomato, different variety. A little bit of Swiss chard, more chamomile. That's an eggplant. And then we have marigolds in between. And then pepper plant. And then another eggplant. And we have the opposite on the opposite side. So there's pepper, eggplant, and it's like that the whole way. This is our cucumbers on this side of the teepee. And John has some peas down there too. And we've had a couple peas, but they really just didn't do diddly-doot. I don't know why. And then these are some of our Chinese watermelons on this side. And they're making it. They're doing pretty good. There's the plum tree. And there we have some Chinese honeydew and Chinese watermelon also. That's in a hill. We wanted to do normal watermelons, but we never got around to it before we left for South Carolina, so it just didn't happen. We'll walk along the path here. Woo. This is our Chinese squash, and it's just starting to get little flowers. It hasn't bloomed yet, but I see all the flower buds on it. I don't know if I can you see them? See that flower bud? I don't know, but it's doing pretty well. The cold kind of got to it because we put it out too early. And then this is our tallest tomato. It's a new girl. And then down here, I don't want to make you guys sick. We've got beets. See my beets? Woohoo! Beets! I don't have very many of them, but there's more radishes over there. But I like them. So we got this arch. You can kind of see the arch, and the pumpkin's growing over it, and on that side, the pumpkin's got it, and then on this side, we're having the Chinese squash grow over it, and we gotta weave those ones over. It's kind of growing under. So, and then here's our other arch, which it was too shady, nothing really grew on it, but the pumpkin's starting to grow on it now, because the pumpkin's ridiculous. Then I got a hummingbird feeder, and we have the hammock. It's really quite nice. And then, I don't know if you can tell, but all these cinder blocks are full of Swiss chards. You can see all the Swiss chard down there. I've got Swiss chard coming out of every ear of mine. If you want Swiss chard, come on down. And then these are bean plants that I have in front of the Swiss chard. And I have them on this side too, but they're kind of getting, that's the bean, that's the bean, that's the bean, and then they kind of get swallowed by the pumpkin plant. Which, whatever. I mean, I like my pumpkin plant. It's doing really well. So yeah, that's our little garden, and it's doing really good, and we've eaten quite a bit from it, and the pumpkin's starting to go out into the road. And this is our bee house. We don't have a proper roof on it right now, we just have a piece of plywood over it, but it's the stand that John built for it, and that's the little holes. We don't have bees, but we hope to get some. We asked Victor if he'd grab us some, but Victor, all his hives, almost all his hives died this winter, so he's not, all the swarms he catches he's keeping. But he said he'd make us some pheromone stuff, so maybe we can attract our own swarm. Who knows? Anyways, we have a beehive. Oh. Looks like the pumpkin's finally covered up my little tree. My little citrus tree. It's not doing very well. It's kind of doing poo-diddly, actually. And this is our biggest pumpkin. Wow! John's so proud of it. Here's my hand so you can see comparison. It's pretty big for, I guess, this year. It's an English pie pumpkin is the type of pumpkin we're growing. So, however that works out, but yep, so that's our garden. We have some cantaloupes going renegade in the compost heap, which we got a burning barrel back there, and then kind of to the right of the burning barrel is where we keep our compost. Ooh, a bee just hit me. And so, but that's our little garden. And we've got, ooh, here, I'll show you this, Mom. This is a lily. It's blooming in the backyard, finally. Oh, I guess I have some tomatoes that I had extra that I just planted in here, too. But I don't think they're going to do anything. But the front has tons of lilies blooming, and I have lots of hollyhocks blooming. Here, let me show you those hollyhocks real fast. I'll just give you the aerial view, because I don't want to walk all the way down there. Come, Lizzie. Greg's here. That's his car. So, Kathy gave us... Oh, I'll have to go down there. You can't see very well. Last year, Johnny and I planted lots of milkweed in this area, and I'm so happy it all came up. It smells so good. But I like it down here, not up there, because the aphids get to my tomatoes if I have milkweed next to them. So there's a hollyhock. It's like light pinky color. Here's all this milkweed. Just the common milkweed. I really like it, though. There's another hollyhock. And this one was actually blooming really well, but it bloomed before all the other ones, and it's kind of being done now. And this is one I got from Kathy, and it's a darker red color, but this fall I'm going to take all the seeds from the ones that bloomed this year and sprinkle them all in this area. I took out the, oh, what do you call it? The weed barrier. And so things can grow in here now, and we mulched it last year. We didn't do anything to it this year, but so yeah, so we have the hollyhocks and the milkweed, and then here's all the lilies. They're sure pretty when they bloom. Here's all the lilies blooming along the flower bed, and then there's the petunia pot. They're all come again. I didn't plant any this year. We just kept watering it, and I figured eventually they'd come. And your bee balm finally bloomed again this year. Not very much, but a little bit. I was happy about that because it hasn't bloomed for the last 2 years. That's the peony bush. It's still not big enough to bloom. It always tries, but it doesn't. And then this is a little succulent plant that I planted that has pink blossoms in the later in the year. Yeah. And then I have, oh, these beds are all yucky. That's a hosta. It's really teeny right now, but it'll get bigger. And they're really shade loving. And I don't know, the trees have got this leaf curl thing, but they're all dying. So, I don't know, you probably don't care. But, and this is just a weed, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty. It's all lacy. And I don't come down here very often. It's mostly Vonda. Oh, but I did. Nelda gave this to me. This is a columbine. It's obviously done blooming. But it did great here. It loves it. So, and I was told that they'll kind of spread a little bit, so I'm happy about that. I figured it'll make a nice plant to have around. Oh, there's Jerry coming up the driveway. But, alright, well, I will let you guys go. I just wanted to show you all my doodly-doing, and here's my chamomile again. Woo, chamomile! And it's going to storm pretty soon, so I'm going to finish picking that and then go to my things. Alright.